The reality of the financial and operational problems of Hawaii Island's 2 state hospitals should be evident. HHSC, the parent, the state parent, is doing layoffs because of lack of funds, and there is no apparent plan to upgrade our hospitals to meet future demands. The state legislature has either failed to grasp the magnitude of the problem or is unwilling to do what's needed, even in the face of the state hospitals making proposals as to what they think would be possible solutions to provide a very viable future path. If you are the governor, what specifically will you do to find a solution to that problem, understanding that we on this island have 2 state hospitals? 2 minutes, please.
I'm the first candidate in this campaign to come out and say, we need a new model. It's public-private partnerships. It's on my website, votemufi.com, where I went into great detail. The time has come. Yes, the legislature has been kicking the can down the road. There was a bill before the legislature that would enable public-private partnerships to emerge. It didn't happen. And all I hear are excuses. Oh, we didn't have a private sector company at the table. Oh, we couldn't work it out with the unions. What could be more important than patient-centered healthcare? It shouldn't matter where you reside. You shouldn't have to come to Honolulu. You should have it here. And the model exists, and it exists very well. You have that with North Hawaii Hospital, with Queens Medical Center. You've seen on Kauai with Wilcox and Hawaii Pacific. We've seen it in Oahu, where St. Francis was basically going under and Queens stepped in there. That's what we need. We need a governor who can sit at the table, work with the unions. All of them who I've had working relationships in the past. We never had an acrimonious disagreement on anything that we talked about when I was mayor and doing collective bargaining. And I really believe that there are things to work out. The unions have a good case to be made. They are complaining that those administrators at the health system are making too much money. Let's look at that. Let's see where we can find common ground. But the situation is intolerable for the legislature to continue to kick the can down the road. Last year, the operating loss was $165 million. And so here's the game that is played. They come before Senator Ige, they ask for funding, they underfund them, then they come back with emergency appropriations, and they continue to underfund them. This has to stop. And you need a governor who's strong enough, wants to do this to make sure that anyone who's under a state hospital system is going to have quality health care no matter where they reside. And I'm willing to take that on and make it a major priority from day one.
I'll agree with Mufi that it is a top priority with my administration. This has been going on for far too long. I remember when I was Lieutenant Governor, I believe it was around 2004, the legislature commissioned a report. It's called the Stroudwater Report. And they commissioned it with your funds, about $250,000 of your funds. And what did they do with that report? Well, it's on a shelf right now. Never looked at it, never considered it, and as such, we are where we are right now. But enough said about that. What we need right now is exactly what was said, and that'll be our priority. But, you know, it involves a situation in which we have to sit down and understand the gravity of it all, the urgency of it all, and the necessity of it all. So obviously we would convene, and that's probably one of the greatest tools that a governor has, is to convene. And I would convene a meeting, a discussion, whatever you want to call it, but it will be a discussion that would result with a solution. In other words, the stakeholders, the administrators, the unions, the employees, the legislators, everyone who needs to be at that table will be at that table. And whether it's a public-private partnership with a local company or a privatization of the system, or whatever it takes so that we can finally put this to rest, that's what will be done, because it is that urgent. There's only a few things that I have on my list right now in regards to what needs to be done fiscally in the state of Hawaii, and that is one of them. So you have my commitment to make this happen.
Thank you very much for that question. I know many of you know that I served as the chair of the Health Committee prior to taking over as chair of the Ways and Means Committee. So I have spent many hours speaking with Wes Loh, CEO at Maui Memorial, and Howard Ainsley before he changed jobs, to talk about the future of the Hawaii Health Systems Corporation. I was successful in passing legislation in my last year as chair of the health committee that provided a pathway to move from the current system, totally state-controlled, into some other form of partnership. At that time that we laid out that plan, we did not have a suitor and we did not have a specific entity or business that was willing and able to step forward. So yes, it was broad-based. It provided a structure and a pathway to allow it to happen. Unfortunately, it hasn't. As part of that measure, I know that a challenge in the hospital system is that under the state process, civil service, one contract applies to all employees, whether they work in a hospital, which is a 24/7 operation, or they work in the standard office, where it's an 8 to 5 operation. I know that hospitals need a different kind of contract, and employees that work in the hospitals need to have contracts that are suited to 24/7 operations. I am running for governor because I understand that the governor has to be actively involved in talking with partners, in negotiating with the unions, because I've tried it from the other side, and it's virtually impossible to do. I understand what's required. I've had discussions with private sector opportunities. I do know that there are labor issues that need to be worked with, and I'm running for governor to be able to help fix the hospital system.
Thank you.